How are you approaching that?
Yeah, I think that was the beauty of the guys throwing the ball pretty well. We didn't have to really overextend anybody, and I think that's really good, especially with a short week. Obviously, usually you have 2 days off. You're ready for Friday. We got 1 day off, so you're kind of evaluating it too. Every time these guys get on the field, it's another opportunity for them to earn innings, for them to earn at bats, for different things. And you're exactly right. I think Austin Morris continues to throw the ball really, really well. And just the maturity. You can forget he's a freshman. But when it's good, man, it's 94. It's turning over. It's hard to elevate. And we've seen him kind of mature in his mindset as the year's gone on. So I think that's the beauty of it. We're able to get guys in and out without overextending them. And I think that's the key because, to your point, some of these guys are going to be leaned on to go get outs for us in Oxford this weekend. So I thought the pitchers really did a great job. And I know you looked at the fourth spot in that one inning. Cade did some good stuff. He just didn't finish the at-bat. He was ahead of them. And then would leave the changeup up, and to good hitters, they get you. He's ahead of them, leave the break ball up, and they get you. They did it all with 2 outs, But I thought after that we did some really good things. We were able to kind of keep the pitch counts manageable where they'll be good to go this weekend.
Evan, you had that 2-run home run that put Alabama in front. Can you just kind of walk us through that at-bat and your mindset going up to the plate there?
No doubt. When it gets to this time of the year, you really got to just lock into the approach, and the coaches do a great job of helping us out and assessing what we really need to be looking for. And I got a pitch that I was looking for and was able to elevate it to left field. And, that was a great inning for us. And that's a glimpse into what we can do as a lineup. And I think it was awesome for us as a team to be down by 4 and know that we're still more than in it and to put that inning together.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot because he's right there, but how much have you seen Justin grow throughout the couple of months now that the season's been going on?
It doesn't matter that he's here. I tell him all the time, I'm so proud of him. He's incredible. As a freshman, especially in the SEC, it's extremely challenging. But the way he goes about his business every day is just incredible. And he's so even keel, and the head on his shoulders is something I've actually never seen before. So just tell him every day to keep going, don't look up, and keep having fun.
Justin, what's the leadership from guys like Evan been like as you've made this growth?
Amazing. They've really allowed me to settle in, not be nervous, or really there's no pressure on me. They expect me to do great things, but they don't put pressure on me, which is great. And they just teach me little things here and there in certain moments that I learn from.
Coach, you talked a lot about energy, and after kind of dealing with a handful of Thursday through Saturday series, especially with a couple more coming up here down the stretch of the season, what kind of energy do you see from this team for those short turnarounds after a midweek, kind of like this week?
Yeah, SEC games ain't hard to get up for. If we got to motivate these dudes to walk in and face 10,000 people at Ole Miss or State, we got bigger problems there. Those aren't the hard ones. It's the maturity of these games, because it is. You just get off playing the number 1 team in the country back-to-back weeks. We didn't handle that awesome at times the last 2 weeks. And like I said, last week I just thought we just played bad. The week before, I thought there was a little bit of a letdown, but it's part of the growth you want to see with guys. And I think they've been really mature. Riley Quick's a guy that we all wish was starting on the weekend, right? That's an elite arm, and I would love to have that guy out there. But I've also seen guys like him that go down with an injury and just check out. And it's next year I'll be back in it. That dude is right next to me. I said I had to be his get-back guy this weekend, like in football. I'm pulling him back in the dugout. But he is into every single pitch of every single game. And I think that permeates down. You've got some young guys that aren't playing a ton, the Luke Vaughns, the Will Plattners, that aren't getting a ton of at-bats, but, man, they're into every single pitch. And that matters. That matters for these guys that are out there every day. That matters for the guys that are doing it. And I don't think it's been that way all year, but I do think that as this team's continue to grow and understand what it looks like, I think the bench realizes how important that is. And I tell these guys that are on the field, you have a responsibility to do your job because these guys are in it with you every single pitch. And I think that's what allows you through 56 games in 3 months is a lot of baseball. They play every weekend, sometimes twice in the midweek. They have school. They're in the middle. I think you guys are in finals right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got finals going on right now. That ain't easy. When you get to pro ball's a lot of baseball, but, man, you show up to the field every night, you're not balancing school or any of that, and it's hard on these guys. So any type of focus and energy you can get from guys that aren't necessarily contributing on the box score is huge for the whole group. And I think this group's done an outstanding job of that, particularly about the last 2 weeks, really since Kentucky. Really since we got back from Kentucky, I think this group has been pulling the same into the rope, scratching and clawing, and it's 40 guys deep, which is a heck of a lot of fun.
Justin, Evan, from a player's perspective of kind of the short turnarounds, how do you guys kind of deal with keeping the energy and keeping the momentum, especially in some of these really, really short breaks you guys have?
I mean, I think we're all aware that showing up to the field here is an honor and something you can't take for granted. So, when it comes down to it, we're really lucky to be playing baseball here. And bringing energy is just something you got to do to have a good team. And we're extremely lucky that there's a bunch of guys, the coach said it, 40 men deep, that are all hooked in. We're all paying attention pitch to pitch, and the energy's been great.
And no, definitely to go off Evan said, as we come here every day, we all expect to do great things. But one of the biggest things that we got to do is to be a team and to cheer each other on when people are getting down or even at their high. So definitely coming here every day, doing your best, and just really buying into each other is the best thing for us.
Coach, obviously the state of Mississippi has some of the better college baseball crowds that you're going to find. Y'all have been to Hattiesburg. How do you think that experience kind of sets you guys up to just be able to deal with that this weekend and then Starkville even?
It's why we're here, man. It's why we're here. Like, that's part of what makes college baseball awesome. Like, and that is not a knock, man. Where I came from, we had great crowds. This guy got to play in front of him at Maryland. Like, man, by the end of that thing, we'd have 2,500 people, which I know here doesn't seem like a lot, but in that little stadium, it was rocking, and it's fun. But at the end of the day, that's what you want. As a competitor, it's what these guys are. As coaches, we're competitors, and it's fun to go into those environments. It's fun for it to get rowdy. And now you have to be able to reset yourself. You have to be able to breathe and not be emotional. I haven't had to tell our guys that, but they'll get that speech this week. It's about playing with emotion but not being emotional, and that's two different things. And when you're on the road in front of a raucous environment, it is easy to get emotional. When you get emotional, you get outside of yourself. And that's just what we got to do a good job of managing that, of playing with passion, being hooked in, playing with emotion, but making sure we toe that line. But at the end of the day, it's what makes college baseball the greatest thing ever, is we get to go on the road in front of two great crowds and two really good teams these next 2 weekends, and then finally get LSU back here. And then, I know Auburn, if you look at their record, it's not the best thing in the world right now. We know what that team's capable of. That's a good baseball team, and they're going to be fighting and scratching and clawing for everything they have, regardless of what it means, because it's Auburn, Alabama. So we're going to have 4 good weekends against 4 really good teams in some great environments, and man, can't draw it up any better than that.
Coach, Ben Hess went down in Game 2 Friday against A&M. How has he kind of progressed since then, and do you know if he'll be available this weekend?
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's gonna go on Friday this week. So feels good. Feels fine. Got out and threw a pin yesterday. I think it was more scary than anything. He took 105 right off the top of the ankle, and we need to make sure there's no issues with any bones, but it got him in the best spot it could get him in. And he tried to throw a little bit, and it was just that lead leg. And like I said, if that thing's unstable, that starts driving stuff up the chain and putting him at risk, and we just weren't willing to do that in the moment. But Heater's good. He'll be ready to go on Friday.
Anything else? All right.
Thanks, guys. Roll Tide.
Thank you.